Welcome, both new and long-time Leos, to Golden Fortune Leo, a place where we don't just read cards but unravel the deeper story of your soul. In this reading of August 16, 2025, the cards speak with unusual clarity: Queen of Swords, Four of Swords, Four of Pentacles, the Sun, King of Cups, and the High Priestess. Together, they whisper that you are entering a season of profound inner work. This is the moment to organize your mind, settle your accounts, and prepare for the kind of changes that alter the course of a lifetime. Psychologists call this cognitive restructuring. Buddhist teachers would say it is simply the discipline of watching the mind. For a Leo, who thrives in motion, applause, and a touch of drama, even the act of stillness is a miracle in itself, one that reshapes destiny as surely as any external triumph. Yet the story doesn't stop with solitude. The cards reveal the presence of someone close to you, perhaps a partner, perhaps an old friend who knows you so deeply that words become unnecessary. Without asking, they deliver what you desire, as if plucking thoughts directly from your heart. This is not ordinary coincidence, it is the mysterious bond reserved for the chosen ones, those rare souls whose connections transcend logic and time. Imagine it, you're talking to yourself in the mirror, admiring how radiant you look, and before the echo fades, the universe places a gift in your hand. Only a Leo could pull off such accidental magic. But what is truly remarkable here is not just the miracle of being seen, it is the reminder that even in silence, you are never alone. Life has a way of surrounding you with mirrors, people who reflect your truth back at you until you recognize it yourself. The great writers tell us that love is a kind of clairvoyance, and the spiritual teachers remind us that generosity without words is the purest form of compassion. As Leos step into this new chapter, the year of triumph 2025, remember that your greatest power is not merely to shine, but to inspire others to shine with you. And when that happens, when someone meets your unspoken need before you dare to ask, you realize the miracle was never outside you at all, it was in your connection, your courage, and your boundless capacity to love. This is the spirit of Golden Fortune Leo, wisdom with a spark of humor, depth with a touch of fire, and the constant reminder that you, dear Leo, are born to live not as a shadow, but as the sun itself. In this chapter of your journey, the cards the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles signal a season of undeniable glow. Not the kind of glow you get from a new skincare routine or a few extra hours of sleep, but the deep radiance that comes when body, mind, and spirit align. This is abundance in its purest form, health that makes you feel alive in every cell, beauty that turns heads without effort, and prosperity flowing as naturally as sunlight at dawn. The year of triumph 2025 shines especially bright on you, Leo, and this cycle reminds you that the universe is not stingy when it comes to rewarding those who have worked hard to rise. If you are single, a worthy partner may soon arrive, not as a distraction but as an equal who recognizes the brilliance of your soul. And if you are already partnered, the love you share deepens into something far richer, not just passion, but nourishment for the spirit. It is a reminder that while Leos often equate love with admiration, true love is when someone sees beyond your style, applauds your courage, and reveres the soul that fuels your fire. But here is the catch. Your light is so bright that it cannot help but cast shadows. The cards warn of whispers, envy, and the occasional side-eye from those who can't quite stomach your radiance. This is the paradox of success. While you celebrate abundance, others measure themselves against you. Yet, fear not, for the Empress carries guardianship from higher realms. Spiritually, you are protected. Psychologically, you are resilient. Socially, you are the lion in the room, and lions do not lose sleep over the gossip of sheep. Let them talk. After all, even the sun, your ruling star, casts shadows. And honestly, if no one's jealous, are you really living up to your Leo status? The wisdom of old philosophers and the compassion of Buddhist teachings both remind us that envy is a teacher in disguise. Those who speak ill of you are secretly acknowledging your power. They cannot deny the sun even if they squint at its brilliance. As a longtime observer of both astrology and human nature, I say this with certainty: what you are experiencing is not just vanity rewarded, but the karmic fruit of honesty, effort, and the courage to be unapologetically yourself. So shine, Leo, and let the world adjust its eyes. At this point in the reading, the cards take a softer, more human turn. The Six of Cups, the Fool, the Magician, and Justice arrive together, and their story is one of restoration, of life rediscovering its rhythm after hardship. They speak of a younger family member or perhaps an old friend who has been walking through a season of trial, health troubles, a career setback, or a personal heartbreak that left them weary and uncertain. For a time, it may have seemed as though their world was closing in, but now justice intervenes, balancing the scales and writing a fairer chapter. The Fool appears here not as a symbol of naivete but of renewal, reminding us that every ending is also a beginning. And the Magician insists that the tools for transformation were always within reach. This person steps out of the storm and into a new dawn, and in their joy, they run to you first. Why? Because to them, you are not just a relative or an old companion, you are the flame that never flickered, the light they trusted when everything else dimmed. What is striking here, from a psychological perspective, is the role of Leo as the witness of triumph. Research in social psychology often shows that human beings need more than survival, they need acknowledgement. They need someone to see them, to celebrate the arc of their recovery. And who better than a Leo, ruled by the sun itself, to shine a validating light on their return? It is almost comical in its simplicity. The person who once felt like life's underdog now finds themselves basking in applause from the Zodiac's natural performer. But make no mistake, this is no shallow cheer. It is the profound act of one soul strengthening another, a reminder that healing becomes more complete when shared. Then, as we move into the next layer of the reading, the cards shift toward the theme of reconciliation. If conflicts have weighed heavily on your heart, a moment is near where conversation mends what silence could not. Old disagreements, once sharpened by pride, soften into dialogue. The truth, spoken with sincerity, dissolves the brittle walls built by ego. For Leo, forgiveness has never been about losing face. It is not a performance of defeat but a recognition of a deeper truth: the heart is infinitely stronger than pride. The novelist in me would say that this is the part of the story where characters realize their battles were never truly with one another, but with their own fears and unmet needs. The Buddhist in me would call it the practice of right speech, words chosen not to win but to heal. And perhaps a little humor is warranted here, for forgiveness among Leos is rarely quiet. You may rehearse your speech dramatically, pacing the room as if you were preparing for Broadway, only to find the actual conversation ends with a laugh, a hug, and maybe a joke about how stubborn you both were. But beneath the theatrics lies something sacred, the recognition that relationships, like fire, require tending. Too much neglect and they fade, too much pride and they burn uncontrolled. Yet with balance, that justice card again, they become a steady flame, warm enough to guide you both forward. The final movement of this reading comes with the arrival of the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Moon. These cards, when read together, speak of something you have long anticipated, perhaps a contract, an overdue opportunity, or a long-promised institutional reward that has been delayed to the point of testing your patience. Leos are not famous for their tolerance of waiting. You like doors to swing open the moment you push them. Yet this delay was not a denial, it was the universe's way of ensuring that when the gift arrives, it will be perfectly timed. And here it is. The year of triumph 2025 has no intention of leaving you empty-handed. The Knight of Pentacles carries what you've been expecting, steady but sure. The Ace of Wands signals ignition, the spark that turns potential into momentum. The Hierophant suggests legitimacy, order, and the blessing of structure, while the Moon reminds you that uncertainty, though unnerving, was always part of the path. The irony is that what you considered late is in fact arriving exactly on schedule, for destiny follows cosmic clocks, not human calendars. In the constellation of energy surrounding you now, specific signs step forward: Cancer, Leo, Libra, Aries, Scorpio, Virgo, and Taurus. These archetypes will bring harmony, collaboration, and influence into your life. Perhaps it will be a Cancer who teaches you tenderness, a Virgo who grounds your ambitions in strategy, or a Libra who reminds you that justice is not only in the courts but also in the balance of relationships. Aries will fire you up when you doubt yourself, Scorpio will urge you to transform rather than stagnate, Taurus will encourage you to build something lasting, and your fellow Leos will remind you that courage is a muscle best exercised daily. Astrology, after all, is not just about stars in the sky but about how we navigate society itself, the people we love, the alliances we form, and the lessons we learn in the company of others. The main takeaways of this reading form a kind of roadmap. Inner clarity propels you into your next chapter of destiny. An inexplicable psychic bond delivers a miracle without your needing to ask. Your beauty and abundance shine so brightly that they stir envy, but remember, the chosen ones are always protected. A loved one recovers and shares their joy with you. Reconciliation dissolves old conflicts into forgiveness, and at last, that long-awaited institutional blessing arrives, crowning this as your unmistakable year of triumph. Now, if all of this sounds like a lot to process, don't worry, that's classic Leo energy. You are the sign that can juggle applause, drama, and transformation while still making it look like you just stepped off a red carpet. But here is the gentle wisdom I leave you with: do not merely survive these changes. Thrive in them. Enjoy them. Taste the sweetness of what you have worked for. The sun, your ruling star, never asks permission to rise. It simply illuminates the world. And so must you. You are not here to shrink or to apologize for your brilliance. You are here to live, to shine, and to inspire. So take this as your invitation not only to celebrate your blessings but to step boldly into the future that has been waiting for you. Laugh when others gossip, forgive where pride once stood, and receive what is yours without hesitation. Life is not simply asking you to endure, it is asking you to savor. If this message has resonated with you, I invite you to continue this journey with me. Like this video, share it with fellow Leos and seekers of wisdom, and subscribe to Golden Fortune Leo. This community exists so we can walk the path together with humor, with insight, and with the radiant confidence that the sun itself has chosen us to shine.